Hello, welcome to the channel, beautiful souls. We're here on another Monday. If it's not Monday when you're seeing it, it's when you were meant to see it. I have two decks here I'm working with for the Love of Dragons, and then I decided to keep it a little bit smaller and just use a single tarot deck, which I have the White Sage Tarot here today. So let's dive in and see what the dragons have to tell us today. I'm kind of excited. I've been looking at, that's too much. I've been looking at these dragons for a while, and I'm being called, that's one. Okay, so that's the Fire Bearer, card 19. It's very interesting. I do my own personal readings as well, and this 1-9 keeps popping up for me. Okay, and let's see what we have over here. Quite a few. I said it was going to be a small reading, and then here we are with all these cards. So the Fire Bearer, yeah, we have a lot of fire energy, a lot of fire signs coming through, and then we have the Fire Bearer here. So it's no surprise that this deep, earthy, fiery energy is coming out. And it's coming out now because it doesn't want us to be afraid of this energy. It's coming out for a reason. It's ready to burn away anything from the past, get us moving when we haven't been moving, like when spring comes and things start getting warmer. It's about that. That's the kind of energy that I'm seeing, is it's an omen of change, really. And if you think of 1 and 9 being 10, and we're in this year, so I think now that we have the fire horse and all these fire signs, there's a reason there's so much fire going on right now in the planet. And then if you look at the next card, the Wild Child. Now, card number 6. The 6 to me is all around the things that are happening right here and now. So I think of 6 as kind of like an earth sign, as something that is tangible. Now the Wild Child in this particular deck is almost bringing about like an awareness that maybe something could be misunderstood, right? In what you're seeing or what you're experiencing. And I do think that that's true. The interesting thing about this particular dragon is it looks like it has an egg, is what it looks like around it, right? Like something is changing and birthing. And then you have this young woman who is behind it. So to me, the energy that I'm getting is that there has been something deeply misunderstood about, I think, the feminine, and this feels a little bit more like an easy transition into this fire. And I almost feel like it's a new either awareness for women waking up, or a new awareness to the need for this divine feminine energy to be birthed right now. Then we have card 25, which is the Waymaker. And this feels like a much gentler energy, and it's something around perhaps something opening up, showing us or giving us a tool that maybe we haven't had in the past that could open something up for us that creates a pathway forward. Let me see. I'm going to go to the guidebook. It says we can't always see how something's going to manifest, and we light fires of intention. And but the job right now is to trust. So something is going to open up and create. So you can see a bit of a pattern here, right? We have this great fire energy that's burning away something. There's a reason why all this fire is because there's a lot of stuff that needs to change, and it needs to change quickly, and that's what happens under fire. So the next card that we have coming out now is the Idea Hatcher. So I don't know about you, but I'm super excited as to what I'm seeing right now, because basically what I'm going to move this. I didn't realize that it was so bright. That's interesting, because I'm feeling like, okay, so maybe things we thought that we knew what was going on, but it was just like stopping us from seeing the depth of something else. Because when I took off so much light, everything became clearer. Okay, so we have this fire coming in to help make a change, something somewhat misunderstood for the divine feminine, and for what this transformation is about. And then a new idea, some pathway opening up. And this is 25, and that is 7, which to me is around choices. So we have choices to make. And then we have this idea hatcher with card number 38, and that's the divine 11. And I feel like if you take a look at this card, it kind of looks like the tree is dead behind her. She's got these beautiful dragons, 2 different types of dragons around her. She's a dragon herself. And that there's possibility all around. Like these are eggs that look like on a pedestal, and this is just hatched, which is the idea hatcher. And so what I'm hearing is that these are almost in conjunction. They kind of have each other's back, right? So we've got this path moving forward. Something is going to open up or bring in new ideas and things that are going to show a new way forward. And then we have the fairy tale first card, which is card number 34, again showing that we're going to have choices and options. This is a very interesting card. It says, I'm just going to read a little bit because I think this card is very, very interesting and very relevant for us right now to be able to think about things in a different way. It says, Einstein once said that if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Now is the time to let yourself sink into the wonder and imagination of a good tale. And I think what that's really telling us is part of what this evolution is, and this birthing and this way forward, and the fire coming in to like light the way forward and burn away everything that we don't need, is because we need to get back to the fact that we're magical beings and that we have not understood that about ourselves. We didn't realize that we had all this magic and all this power, and that's part of the misunderstanding around the divine feminine. Is like we are these amazing magical creatures, but we haven't ever, or for a long time, been able to really fly and to shed our facade. So let's get final messages here from the deck, the tarot. Final messages, please. Okay, so we have a couple of things coming up. One is the Hanged Man. And interestingly, so the Hanged Man was upside down like this. And the Hanged Man is about seeing something from a different perspective. So it's interesting. When it's upside down, it's almost like, are we really seeing it from the correct perspective? And I feel like this one needs to come in as well. So, and I feel like this comes between these two. Don't ask me why, but it showed itself right after this one. So the 5 of Cups is around a broken heart. It's around us believing something and then finding out that that wasn't really the case. So the Knight of Cups is around moving forward despite that. So what I'm seeing here is that I think things have been a little bit upside down. I mean, and all we have to do is look at the news to see that things have been upside down. So we are seeing things in a different way, but they're not in a good way. It's like we're seeing the old things that we thought were something else, and that's being shifted and turned around. And so we're seeing a lot of ugliness out there that is heartbreaking, really. And then we have this kind of young, what looks like otter energy showing us that we can still rally and move forward despite what's going on. And I think that, I'm going to see, I think there's one more card. Yep, that's it. Where did it go? It's so funny because it felt like it did like a complete flip over. And yeah, so look at that. It's a Queen of Cups. I knew that there was another card to come out here. Yeah, and so this is almost like he's exploring it with his nose. He's exploring what's going on. So after time of heartbreak and things that you really thought you could count on, you know, that there was just common decency among people, and that you realize that, wow, nothing is the way I thought it was. It's all shifting around because this beautiful Queen of Cups, feminine energy, right after the Knight comes the Queen. And the Queen is coming in to show that the feminine energy has such resilience, obviously, because we have been tormented, tortured, controlled, brutalized for a very long time. And our hearts are still open and giving and kind and loving. And I think that is what we are going to see, is that the divine feminine that has been misunderstood is going to be really in a big way coming to the forefront. And we are going to start seeing the magic within this feminine energy. We all have masculine, we all have feminine, but we've been leaning more into the masculine than the feminine. And I think that is what is shifting. Like, we have to change that, because what's been going on has just been heartbreaking. And we need this new energy. We need this new time. We need a new way, a new idea. And we need to believe in magic and stop in the fairy tale and stop looking at the horror stories and start leaning into something that feels really beautiful and heart-opening. So thank you so much for being here at the channel. If you like the message, give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in a private reading, just reach out to me. I do them all over Zoom. Until then, have a beautiful day. Bye now.